Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Sure.
Can you tell me first, pronounce your name for me?
Sure. Emilie Amundson.
Thank you. To start off, can you tell me where you were born and how old you are now?
Sure. I was born here in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm 39.
And tell me a little bit about your job history. What did you do before you came to the agency?
So I, from the time I was 4 years old, all I ever wanted to do was be a teacher. And that's exactly what I did. I went to school to become a secondary English teacher, so high school English. I did that first in Brooklyn, New York, and then came back here to Middleton, Wisconsin. And then from there, got my graduate degree in education policy, and really was open to going anywhere in the country, but wound up getting what I thought was my dream job back here in Madison, Wisconsin, at the Department of Public Instruction. And that's where I had spent the last 12 or so years doing a whole bunch of different things, and but most recently served as the chief of staff for the last 3.5 years. So that was the position I held just previous to coming over here to Department of Children and Families.
Great. Did you get your undergraduate degree in Madison then, or elsewhere?
Yes, yeah. Double major in English and secondary English education here at UW-Madison.
Any other higher education?
Yeah, so my master's is from Harvard Graduate School of Education, and then I've spent quite a few years pursuing a PhD at UW-Madison in curriculum and instruction. We'll see where we're going to go with that.
How far along are you in the process at this point?
I have one class left.
You gotta finish it then.
Well, yeah, it's a hard thing. It's so I've got one class left, and then there's the whole dissertation situation. So we'll see about that.
Can you tell me a little bit about your family?
Sure. So my folks, born and raised in Madison. My grandparents. My grandma still has a house here in Madison, 91 years old, and all of us proud La Follette grads from the east side of Madison. And my folks just recently retired, both of them. My dad worked for 42 years at Sir Jennings Floor Covering. My mom worked at American Television. I've got one brother and one little nephew who was just born about 6 months ago. So I've got a wonderful husband. He's a teacher in the Madison School District, art teacher, and 2 lovely children, ages 4 and 6. And so they keep me really busy on the weekends. We're always out doing something, either creative, arts related, music related. We love hiking. We love the outdoors. So all things family related are really what I love to do in my free time. When it's just me, I'm obsessed with making things in my Instant Pot. It's my favorite thing from the last year, and so I feel like I can make anything in the Instant Pot.
What's your favorite recipe?
I love Indian cooking, so I love anything that's like a masala or butter chicken in the Instant Pot.
Sounds delicious.
It's not bad.
So can you tell me why you were initially interested in being in the Evers administration?
Sure. So I worked for now Governor Evers for the last 9 years at the Department of Public Instruction, and I really learned what it meant to be a leader from working with him. He's somebody that I saw build big tables with stakeholders that didn't always see eye to eye. And he's somebody that really led with his heart, who allowed us as staff to know him as a person and start to understand kind of his values, what made him tick. And I grew, he's not the flashiest guy in any room he's in, but I grew to really respect that in every conversation he was absolutely himself, 100% authentic, and really led with his values and his beliefs. And so I came to really understand what it meant to be a leader, and also really what it meant to work for him and to kind of work in service to his vision and his values. Of course, I worked for him for 9 years. I really saw his vision and values are my vision and values. And so I knew both from a leadership standpoint, from the way that I wanted to lead a state agency, I knew that would really mesh with the way that I think he would want to run this administration. And then from a values perspective, where I could take the agency, where we could take the work, I knew that would work too. So from the kind of person he is to the kind of administration that I knew he would run, it was a slam dunk for me.
What are your priorities for DCF under your leadership?
Sure. So DCF has such a critical mission to keep kids safe, to keep families vibrant, and I think that it's just such a big portfolio of work. I think that because of DCF's unique history, having pieces from Department of Health Services, pieces from DWD, and even pieces from DOC, it's a natural sort of connector of policies and of kind of innovation. And so I'm really excited to continue to build on those collaborative partnerships. Governor talks a lot about connecting the dots. I think DCF is a natural dot connector because of the work that we do to support, to support working families, to support kids. So our natural partnerships are really, I'm finding new partnerships every day. That's a piece that I'd really like to bring to DCF. I think another piece is really just kind of building back a strong connection to professional associations. We have so many engaged stakeholders. We have so many issues that are truly bipartisan issues. Working on things like child care, foster care, the child welfare system, even our work around youth justice. These are all places where, again, building that bigger table, that table of stakeholders, of legislators, folks who really see, see the benefit of working together in service to the families and the communities that we support. I think these are places where we can really grow through this administration.
So in addition to building stronger connections with stakeholders, is there anything else you think the agency should be doing differently as well?
So one thing that we've talked a lot about here already is our relationship to data and research. So we have an incredibly strong and robust engine to both use and also uncover and kind of crunch on data. And yet, I think that one place where we can grow as an agency is really starting to use that data to better connect to our external stakeholders and really paint a picture of how we use data to continually improve the systems, the processes, and the outputs that our clients or our customers will ultimately use. So I think aspirationally, I'd love to see data play a much more external or front-facing role in the way that we talk about the work at DCF. And then on the research side, we are so lucky to live in Wisconsin and to be connected to such an amazing resource in our higher ed system. And so the partnerships that we have around a research agenda with the Institute for Research on Poverty, with UW-Milwaukee, with UW-Madison, with all of our great higher ed partners, I really want to, again, continue to encourage and strengthen all of those partnerships and sort of weave that into the way that we think about the mission and vision of this agency. So we've got data, we've got research, and then we've got that mission and vision that we're continually working toward.
Switching tracks here, what would you say is the best advice you've gotten since either taking the job or considering taking the job?
Sure. So I'll go back to Governor Evers and some of the things that he told me, some of the things that I learned from him over the last few years around relationships. And for him, it really has always been about the relationships. It's been about knowing the people and really understanding the folks in Wisconsin, the folks who do this work, the folks who are boots on the ground. So one of the things that he told me is develop the relationships with the folks who know best, and use your position or use your bully pulpit to lift up their voices. So that's something that I've been doing quite a bit. I've been trying to get out on the road as much as possible. I was out in La Crosse yesterday, talking with child welfare workers, talking with youth justice workers who do this work day in and day out. And I said the best service I can be to you is to lift up and amplify the stories that you tell me, because that helps paint the picture of why we do the work we do, of why we're asking for the budget requests we're asking for. So I think that's the best advice, and I think it's cultivating those relationships and then maintaining them and continuing to show up. So I already told them, the folks in La Crosse yesterday, can't wait to be back.
What about the worst advice that you've gotten in your time here?
The worst advice. Let's see. The worst advice that I can think of, because it's so laughable, is, oh, well, if you just tell people what your schedule is, you're the boss, right? It'll just work out. So, the first week I was very prescriptive about well, this is when I'd like to take lunch. This is when I'm coming in. This is when I'd like to leave. That turned out to be pretty bad advice. I realize you gotta, again, if it's about relationships, you gotta go where you gotta go when you gotta go. And so I've been able to try to strike a healthy balance, try to find a healthy way to do this job, but it's not always about what the clock tells you. You've gotta be flexible, and you've got to go where the people are.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.